Okay. All right, hopefully this will work. Okay. So now I want to talk about the doctrine of dependent co-origination. Okay. Now don't freak out about this. It's messy and I didn't do a good job. First of all, in Buddhism, okay, I'm going to do this because I have this in here, but I don't want you to get confused. They talk about the 6 realms of existence. So the 6 realms of rebirth, these are the possibilities for various life forms. This is samsara, the realm of samsara. The realm of samsara, the cycle of rebirth, the wheel of existence. In terms of rebirth, beings are born either in heaven as a god, in heavenly kind of places like a good spirit or demigod, in the darker, lower spiritual world, sort of like hellish realms, like evil spirits or hungry ghosts, okay? Literal hells, and there's all kinds of hells of dealing with really bad karma, all right? And then there's the animal realm, being born as an animal, or in the human realm, okay? And so, you know, beings are born, and these are the 6 realms of rebirth, the 6 possibilities for rebirth. And so to be set free from the cycle of rebirth, you're being set free from samsara, the wheel of existence. And that's where the Buddha, okay, from the human realm, the Buddha has transcended samsara altogether. He's beyond the realms of rebirth. He's beyond heaven. The gods, you know, they're all there. And they're still in bondage to samsara. And that's why I've said before, you know, the Buddha is greater than the gods. He totally transcends these realms of rebirth, the realm of samsara, and he's totally, who knows where, whatever. You can't even say, you know, anything. He's totally beyond, okay? And so that's just keep this in mind. So we are stuck in the 6 realms of rebirth, and the hub of this wheel, what keeps us in bondage to this realm, are the 3 evils that I've mentioned before, the 3 kleshas. These are the root. This is what keeps us in bondage to the wheel of existence, the cycle of rebirth. Our ignorance is the core. And out of our ignorance, we then are in bondage to wanting and not wanting. Wanting and not wanting. And that then is the engine that keeps us in bondage to samsara, the wheel of existence. Okay? All right, so hopefully you're all good with that. Now, the doctrine of dependent co-origination is where Siddhartha came to understand that there are 12 links in a chain. 12 links in a chain of causal connection that leads to how we are in bondage to this wheel of existence. So it kind of goes like this, okay? We grow old and die. Why do we grow old and not die? What is that dependent upon for its existence? That's why it's called dependent co-origination, where things come into coexistence. They all co-originate, come into being together in an interdependent way, right? That's what's meant by dependent co-origination. So we grow old and die. Why? Why? What does it depend upon for its existence? Well, we grow old and die because we were born. So to grow old and die depends upon having been born to begin with. Well, why are we born? What does that depend upon for its existence? Well, that depends upon conception. It's because we were conceived in a mother's womb that we were then born. Okay, pretty simple stuff, right? Then why were we conceived? Why was there conception? What does that depend upon for its existence? Indulgence of the senses. All right, it's because, you know, your mom and dad got it on one night and that's how you were conceived. They indulged their senses. Well, what does that depend upon for its existence? Why did that happen? Because of desire. They were wanting, they had the desire, and they were then indulged the senses, and ta-da, you conceived, or you were conceived. Well, what does that depend upon? It depends upon sensations. You know, having the physical experience of sensations, that then creates desire. Right? I mean, if you have a little child, like, you know, say a toddler, a 2-year-old or whatever, and they've never had ice cream. They've never had ice cream. There's no desire for ice cream because they don't even know what it is. And they have their very first lick of an ice cream cone, and they lick that ice cream cone for the first time, and that contact and that sensation boom, it birthed desire. It's like, ah, I want that ice cream cone, nom, 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 right? Whereas before, they never wanted it because they never had the sensory experience that didn't then create the desire, okay? So that's kind of what's meant by here. So the desire depends upon sensations, and to have the sensations means that we have our senses. Now in Buddhism, they hold to 6 senses. In the West, we hold to 5 senses of, see, hear, taste, smell. Okay, see, hear, taste, smell, touch. Okay, but in Buddhism, they also add a 6th sense of consciousness. Okay, and that is the 6th sense field of consciousness. So they have 6. But because of our senses, then we have sensations that creates desire, and on you go. Well, why do we have our senses? It's because we have life in a body. We're physical beings here, right? And we have then our senses. Why do we have life in a body? Because of consciousness. So consciousness has come into this world in a bodily form, but what created consciousness? What is the cause of consciousness? What does consciousness and the birthing of consciousness depend upon for its existence? This is a key thing. Karmic accumulation. The karma of a previous life is then what kicks off consciousness that takes on life in a body, and on you go into the cycle. And so through karmic accumulation, consciousness created life in a body, sensations, then you have the wanting and desire, all right? And ta-da, you're creating karma, and you're trapped in this cycle. You grow old and die, and then there's another birth. Grow old and die, get another birth. Why? What keeps going is wanting and desire, and that's rooted in ignorance. So if we can get, here, ignorance. Ignorance is what then leads to our creating karma, okay? This is the 12th one here, is ignorance. So if you, depending if you want to go this 1 to 12 or 1 to 12 this way, karma, ignorance, I couldn't fit it in here. Okay, ignorance is supposed to be here, it's number 12. And so ignorance is the root cause. It's because of our ignorance that we then have desire, that creates karma, and we have life in the body. Have life in the body creates desire, then create more karma. And it's a perpetual, never-ending cycle until you can break the hold. Through removing ignorance, you remove desire and not wanting and not wanting, okay? And then no more karma generated, no more rebirth, no more suffering, nirvana, okay? Then there's nirvana, no more suffering, no more rebirth, okay? So hopefully that made sense, okay? That's the doctrine of dependent co-origination, okay? All right, so I'm going to do the 4 Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, I think, on slides in a video, because I don't think I need the full screen here, and then I'll type it up, because this is kind of hard to put on slides, okay? So hopefully this works, and hopefully, I find it really awkward teaching like this. This all makes sense to you guys, okay? All right, okay, see ya on the live session. Ciao.